Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, we've had a lot of really fun things going on in the cruise industry this week, as well as travel. That's good too. And I'll share more different things during my show today. Good Ship Happens, of course, because good things happen on cruise ships too. But also, we think about ships, we think about they're called ships, not boats. A long time ago, a good example is Jen Schwartz, who actually was president of Princess Cruises, and then she moved up to being in a new role with the Carnival Corporation. But even when her young girls were young, her two daughters were young, they tell her their mom, "Okay, mom, we know the difference between a ship and a boat. You can put a boat on a ship, but you can't put a ship on a boat." But anyway, we also have something kind of fun too. It's actually a coastal cat. Yes, yes, and it is actually American Cruise Lines. They are been around for a long time. They're really great company. They're family owned, and what they did was they also own the company that builds their ships. Their smaller course. It's called Chesapeake Shipbuilding, but they actually delivered their coastal cat to American Cruise Line. It's called the American Liberty, and they just did this, I think, on July, early this week too, which is great. But it's called the American Liberty, and they're calling these newer ships their coastal cats, which is kind of fun. But of course, it's not a cat sailing. It's on a small ship, which is great too. It was delivered to the American Cruise Lines. As mentioned, they're family owned. They're really fantastic people. And what they're doing is they're going to be departing. She's going to start sailing. Her inaugural cruise is going to take place next month, departing on August 15th. And she'll be offering New England Island cruises. Itineraries round trip from Providence, Rhode Island. The ports include New Bedford, Nantucket, and Martha's Vineyards in Massachusetts. Also, Block Island, Newport, and Bristol in Rhode Island. And also, she's going to be sailing, besides these new summer New England itineraries, American Liberty is going to be sailing along the U.S. East Coast throughout 2022 too. And as far as the American Liberty and a coastal cat ship, she handles 100 guests, yes. She's got 4 decks. She's got a catamaran bow, a beautiful interior design. They've got private balcony accommodations. They've got including spacious, really single and double occupancy staterooms as well as suites. And the open deck provides really beautiful views. And the ship has a selection of different lounges, a restaurant, casual cafe, and a fitness center too. And it's kind of fun. And with the American Liberty and also being a coastal cat, it's their 3rd ship in their coastal cat series. This includes the American Eagle and the American Glory, which came out earlier in 2023. And that's really part of American Cruise Line's Project Blue, which has envisions different vessels for river and coastal cruising too. And they've also got some other vessels under construction too. They've got their 4th coastal cat, which will be called American Legend. She's going to set sail actually this November, plus 4 more Patriot class ships, which have more of a traditional bow and a slightly deeper draft. So how fun that the coastal cat was just acquired by American Cruise Lines, and just is really fun too. But once again, she'll start sailing, of course, in August on her first cruise. As mentioned, 100 passengers, which is really nice, and it's part, as mentioned, of their different types of class of ships too. So keep that in mind too, because once again, with the American Liberty, it's their newest ship in their fleet, and it really is demonstrating their ongoing commitment to building small, innovative ships for America's rivers and coasts too, which is great. As mentioned, she's going to be sailing on August 15th, her first cruise, round trip from Providence, Rhode Island, as mentioned, also on the popular New England Island itinerary too. So keep that in mind too. So how fun, have a new coastal cat that's going to be sailing on August 15th. Yes, and it's a ship too. Something else too is there are more news coming up about MSC Cruises. They've got a new ship that's going to be debuting next year. I actually got invited to be on the christening cruise, which I'm really excited about that too. It's with MSC Cruises, and they've got their World America. Should be actually being sailing christening on April 9th of 2025. But they just announced some new things too about the MSC World America. They just announced that they're going to have, it's going to be first of a kind in their fleet. It's called their Family Adventure District. And it's going to be a go-to outdoor area, destination for families, from morning to night. So things during the day, also at night. Also, they've got a range of different activities and experiences. These include their cliffhanger thrill ride, a water park, 11-story dry slide, also a themed playground, a ropes course, and also they've got their complimentary grab-and-go food options too. And they just released some new details about this too. As mentioned, the World America is going to start sailing from Miami in April 2025. As mentioned, the christening event starts, I think, April 9th to the 11th, and it's really inviting guests to really experience a different thing too, and she'll be sailing out of course, Miami, which is great too. So anyway, as far as what she's doing with it, as mentioned, they've got this new space. It's the Harbor Aqua Park that is included. It's a really great blend when it comes to adventure and leisure for all ages. And the Aqua Park features a range of thrilling water slides, also a fun-filled splash area. Also, there is a 90-degree vertical drop slide, which thrill seekers can climb into the departure pod and then take a moment to gather their breaths before doing this spirit free fall during a trap door on the decks below too. So keep that in mind. I don't know if I would do it or not. I mean, I'm careful about heights too, and like I said, other options. They've got a raft slide. It features a virtual reality technology. Also, they've got their jaw drop, the spiral. This is an architectural masterpiece, and it's actually one of the longest dry slides at sea. Jaw drop takes riders from the jaws of a shark, which I think is kind of fun. Yes, you're going into the jaws of the shark, but not a real shark. That's good. And down 11 decks through the heart of the World Promenade. It's a stainless steel dry slide, and it alternates through dark and light segments, which is kind of fun. They've got a rock climbing wall, and little ones can enjoy this adventure for kids by climbing the vibrant rock wall, as well as they attempt to navigate the handholds and footholds too. Also, they've got their high trail ropes course, and this is a 2-level ropes course that will span 6,219 square feet. Includes 2 sky rails, similar to a zip line. And they've got the Harbor Lighthouse, which is gorgeous. This is actually, it really emanates what they've got. It's modeled after the iconic lighthouse at their Pride Out Island, Ocean Cay, MSC Marine Reserve. But what they're doing is they've got this Harbor Lighthouse, this little playground area for kids, which is great. It includes a slide and also really safe play stations designed to really spark kids' imaginations. Also, they've got Harbor Bar and bites. Families can take a break from the excitement and head to the Harbor Bar and bites to get complimentary grab-and-go food and refreshing drinks. Also, they've got their family dwelling area, and another way for families to kind of get together and really kind of, sit down, comfortable seating and shade, and just relax, taking, of course, a breathtaking views too, which is great. And then something they're doing too is, they just announced this earlier this year. It's called Cliffhanger. Okay, well, what do you do when you hang on a cliff? Well, the cliffhanger on board this MSC ship, the World America, is actually unique. It is the only over-water swing ride at sea. It features 4 seats that start off close to the deck before power arms lift them up and over the edge of the ship, and then riders are propelled back and forth through one-of-a-kind edge of your seat thrill. I don't know if I want to do that myself, but it's the first one ever on a cruise ship too. Kind of fun. It's called Cliffhanger. But you're locked in, you're safe, that's good too. And you're swinging over the side of the ship, but we'll see. Also, they've got the harbor, which is it's a really kind of a great place for the family adventure district, okay? And it's a great destination for kids with their families too. So keep it in mind too, because once again, with MSC, the World Yopa is going to be debuting next year, being christened, their newest ship. So definitely keep it in mind too. Something else that just came up too is we've had new ships coming out, of course. New ones coming out this year more, and also we've got something that was just announced by Carnival Corporation. What they did was they have other ships, but they just decided to order some new ships that will be coming out between 2025 and 2033. And we got new ships coming out. They will be powered by liquefied natural gas, okay? But also, they mentioned something else. Once again, this is Carnival Cruise Line. They just put a big order in. They're going to be getting 3 new mega class ships, okay? And like I said, there's Carnival Corporation, but Carnival Corporation owns Carnival Cruise Lines, other cruise lines too, but they just shared it this week, of course, July 24th. They've got a new class of vessel that's going to be nearly 230,000 gross registered tons, and they will be operated by liquefied natural gas, of course, and they will be delivered in 2029, 2031, and 2033. And as far as these ships were just ordered, besides, like I said, they've got 5 new ships being ordered, so far, and that were just announced in 2024. And what they did was they've got more Excel class ships too, but these new ships that are coming out are going to be now the biggest cruise ships ever built, okay? They will actually accommodate, I believe it's 8,000 guests maximum capacity. And the 3 new ships are new classes of ships too, and be announcing their names, etc. more, but once again, they will accommodate over 8,000 guests when fully. Also, they are at, as far as the gross registered ton, that's tons, it's nearly 230,000 gross registered tons, and they will be the biggest cruise ships ever built. Okay, so just keep it in mind. Of course, we've got other cruise lines that are going to be doing smaller ships too, so definitely keep in mind this won't be coming out with these 3 new ships that they just ordered. They're mega class ships, a new category. Be sure about that there too, and they will be actually delivered summers of 2029, 2031, 2031, and 2033. And just is another way to kind of really accommodate different guests what they want to. So more innovation too, and I'll be sharing more as I learn more about the ships too. Okay, but it's a new class of ship, and of course they mention as far as where it's being built in Fincantieri, and it's actually the largest ship ever built in Italy. But I think it's really going to be the largest ships ever built. Period. But I'll give you more updates on that too. Kind of interesting too that they're doing that too, because once again, it'll have more than 3,000 guest staterooms. They'll be the largest ships in the Carnival Corporation, with nearly 8,000 guests at full capacity. And then once again too is it will be operated by liquefied natural gas, which is one thing that cruise lines are doing in a very, very positive way too. So I'll share more about that later when I hear more. But yeah, if you want to go on the biggest ship ever being built, you can do that in 2029. As far as something that came up as far as flying, this is kind of fun too. When you fly, you really kind of depend on Wi-Fi when you can get it. Airlines have their own Wi-Fi. You can pay for Wi-Fi, they have different programs. But one thing that came up too is, and this kind of came up new, is a new experience. It was just, someone just read this in Travel Weekly. It was Hawaiian Airlines. They've got this SpaceX Starlink experience. And it's free for guests on board Hawaiian Airlines. And Joanna, who actually works and writes for Travel Weekly, mentioned she tried out the carrier's free Starlink Wi-Fi a week before when she was taking a flight from San Diego to Maui. And with Hawaiian Airlines, they just began offering this service in certain planes and routes earlier this year, and they're planning to roll it out across this entire fleet, of course, by next spring. And actually, with its launch, Hawaiian Airlines is the first U.S. airline to deploy Starlink service. And, she mentioned, of course, and I've done it too, sometimes in-flight Wi-Fi can be a little slow. You never know, okay? But with this new Starlink satellite experience that being offered on Hawaiian Airlines and some of their flights, supposed to be doing it across all their flights, she mentioned that the Wi-Fi worked when they're actually parked in the Tamarack at San Diego Airport when everybody's boarding. And, sometimes you can't get access to the Wi-Fi until the plane actually takes off. But in this case, you can access it before the plane takes off. Also, it's really kind of fun too, because Hawaiian Airlines, they mentioned it's not just the service is fast and free, but it's the ease of connecting, which is great. And it's similar to connecting at home too. And with passengers, they just need to choose Starlink Wi-Fi network. Nothing has to be agreed to. You don't have to sign anything. There's no charge to your credit card. And it was fun because, once again, there are certain things before she couldn't do when previously on different airlines, but what was good too is you could actually watch Netflix. Her son could play video games, of course, and what they did was they offered their own in-flight entertainment and movies which passengers could watch on their devices too. And it was great because she mentioned that the flight she was on was almost full, and it was really high demand, but the point is there were no issues. And she said that as the flight actually flew over the Pacific Ocean, it was really, really impressive because, once again, some experiences she's had before on flights been kind of crazy as far as their Wi-Fi maybe not working too. So, once again, Hawaiian Airlines just started its free Starlink Wi-Fi on its long-haul fleet, beginning with Airbus aircraft, which is on, and next will be its Air 330s. And then she mentioned it's just a great thing to think about too. It really, really is very interesting. So I'm wondering if maybe other airlines might do this too. But this one's called Starlink Wi-Fi. It's with Hawaiian Airlines, so keep it in mind too. Something else that's kind of fun too is we talk about Alaska, and Alaska cruise season goes usually from May to September. It's beautiful. I just had a business friend that went there, and she came back. She's on Princess Cruises. Said it was wonderful. Haven't really had a chance to talk to her at length to see what she loved about it. I loved it myself. I want to go back to Alaska sometime soon, but as far as cruise lines that go there, we have different choices. Of course, we've got, Celebrity Cruises goes to Alaska. Royal Caribbean does. We've got Norwegian Cruise Line, of course, Princess Cruises, and Holland America Line. But what they're doing is with Princess Cruises, they've always been going to Alaska cruises for a long time, but Princess Cruises just announced that for the Alaska season in 2026, they're going to be featuring 8 different ships. In 2026, that will be sailing on Alaskan cruises. And this includes their new 2025 Sphere-class Star Princess. And with Princess Cruises, they're going to be operating 180 departures to 19 different destinations from 5 home ports. Okay, that's with Princess Cruises. They're going to be having 8 different ships sailing on Alaskan cruises in 2026, including the new ship. Also, the Star Princess is a sister ship to the Sun Princess, which just came out earlier this year, and she's going to provide different viewing opportunities, including the dome, which is a geodesic structure up top and forward. Also, Sphere, which has big walls of glass flanking on the midship piazza, and the bookings actually open up on August 1st, which is coming up next week. And they've got their Better Than Ever price guarantee, which offers the best rates, and 120% of the difference is onboard credit if the rate is lower than final payment too. It's a new promotion. It starts on August 1st. The promotion ends on September 2nd, but definitely keep in mind too, because once again, um, with Princess Cruises, they've always been a leader when it comes to Alaska vacations, and the deployment of their Sun Star Princess, which is coming up, I think another year. Their newest ship will be the first time guests really have a way to really experience unprecedented views. They've got luxurious accommodations, finest food, beverages, entertainment. Also, the Voyage of the Glaciers, Discovery Princess, the Grand Princess, Coral Princess, and Island Princess will operate 7-day voyage of the glaciers with 2 glacier visits, including Glacier Bay National Park. And it's an open jet itinerary which offers northbound and southbound between Vancouver, British Columbia, and Whittier, which can be combined into a 14-day adventure. Also, besides the Voyage of the Glaciers, they've got their Inside Passage cruise, which is one I did. They've got 7 to 20-day Inside Passage cruises, which include up to 4 glacier viewing experiences that include the weekend departures from Seattle. The ships sailing from Seattle include the Royal Princess and Star Princess. Also, they've got a ship sailing to Alaska from San Francisco, Ruby Princess. Vancouver, British Columbia, they have the Emerald Princess. And then from Los Angeles, yes, the Emerald Princess is going to be sailing on Inside Passage cruises to Alaska. Also, they got their 20-day Ultimate Alaska Solstice, which is the Ruby Princess. She sails on round trip San Francisco, and on a 16-day Inside Passage cruise on Emerald Princess, which sails round trip from Los Angeles. And they've got some really, really fun, exciting offerings, excursions. They've got their Cook My Match fishing for dinner, mountain flight seeing, and helicopters and whale watching, which is great. In fact, when I did Alaska Cruise myself, it was several years ago. I did Inside Passage Cruise, but the first night we sailed out, and I saw whales first night. It was great. It was beautiful. And just the views were wonderful. You know, saw the glaciers calving and beautiful. Also, they got their North Alaska, which is Princess Cruises, onboard programming, which features different cultural and educational activities, such as a planetarium Northern Lights experience. They've got a fresh Alaska seafood menu. They've got a junior ranger program, plus they've got the naturalist talks. And with their 2026 season, Alaska season, they've got more than 20 cruise tour options available, with a chance to visit Denali National Park and more. One highlight is their 15-night National Parks tour, which goes to 5 of Alaska's top parks, including Glacier Bay, which I've been before. Beautiful. Denali. They've got the Wrangell, St. Elias. They've got the Kenai Fjords National Park, and Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park on Skagway too. And Skagway is beautiful. Also, this experience combines a 7-day cruise with scenic rail travel, and also 8 nights ashore, which includes stays at 4 Princess-owned wildlife lounges too. Lodges. They have 4 lodges that Princess Cruises owns in Alaska, so they also stay there too. So keep that in mind, because once again, the Alaska season, we're almost halfway through, but once again, keep it in mind because it's a great place to go visit. Beautiful places to see. I just love Alaska myself, and had a chance to go there a long time ago. I want to go back because once again, it's just a great way to really, really experience some beautiful things in Alaska too. And as far as other ships coming up too, we've got new ones coming out, plus new ones next year. But once again, with the cruise vacations, it's great because once again, you think about what you got to experience on board. You got so many choices, okay? For instance, on July 15th, which was last week, of course, Utopia of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean's new ship, just started sailing from Port Canaveral, which is about an hour away from Orlando. And Utopia of the Seas is a larger ship, but once again, what's great too is they're offering 3-night weekend cruises, plus they're offering the 4-night weekday cruises. It's for people that maybe want to, maybe if they've not ever sailed on a cruise ship, and also with Port Canaveral is beautiful. They're expanding it like crazy. It's been growing like crazy in a very, very positive way. But once again, with Utopia of the Seas, they did some phenomenal things when they christened the ship. Meghan Trainor, the Grammy Award singer, actually christened the ship as a godmother. her son and husband were there too, and what they did was they christened the ship. They did different events, and the ship did sail out for people on that special christening cruise, and they did go to their private island, um, which is beautiful. A fun day at Coco Cay. But once again, too, is then what they do is came back and started officially sailing on their regular 3-night weekend cruises that also include Coco Cay. Perfect Day at Coco Cay is what they call it, and also that's a private island, plus they also offer 4-night cruises. But for people maybe have not ever taken a cruise and maybe want to sail out of a different place, Port Canaveral is gorgeous. I actually sailed up Port Canaveral a lot myself in the 1990s when we had Bremer Cruise Line, the Big Red Boat. At the time, they were Fish Cruise Line at Walt Disney World before Disney started their own cruise lines. Also, sail on Disney, but it was a great port. About an hour away from Orlando, but once again, there are different options, and a lot of ships are sailing now out of Port Canaveral, but it's fun to see Utopia Seas sail out year-round from Port Canaveral on shorter cruises, which gives people a chance to really kind of taste and see what it's like as far as sailing maybe on a 3 or 4 night cruise to see if they like it, and then they can actually look into other cruise opportunities too, with maybe longer cruises too. Also, something else that they did with that particular christening cruise is, of course, Meghan Trainor did host a concert, and the ship was docked at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. She did an outdoor concert for people, had other people there too, but it's great. It just seems like it was such a great, amazing experience, and I'm so glad that the ship sailed out successfully and now offering a really nice alternative if you're looking at maybe trying to do a new cruise ship and maybe try maybe a 3 or 4 night cruise. Something else that's growing in a very, very positive way too is with the river cruises. Of course, we've got a lot of growth when it comes to Amman Waterways. They're very busy. They are offering, of course, besides their river cruises on the European rivers, of course, they do offer some now river cruises, of course. And what they're going to start doing, I think at the beginning of next year, they're working right now, very, very busy on some cruising options. Cruise ships are going to be sailing on the South America, on the Columbia River. I'll be sharing about that later on. Right there, they're kind of busy with this too. But once again, with the river cruises in Europe and other places too, of course, you've got more options. But what they do is the ship, they're smaller ships, of course, because they have to fit into the rivers, which are small. But what's good too is it's a great way to really experience Europe. And the river cruise lines, the ship is actually your floating hotel, so to speak. And Amman Waterways is one great example. It's been around 22 years. They are founded by Rudy Schreiner, who is known as the architect of river cruising. Also, Christine Karntz, the co-founder. Another gentleman who actually passed away, but he's actually a president of their travel company, came in, and his son is running the company with them. Been around 22 years, which is great, and they really do some amazing things. And once again, too, is we can see it flying the day before, get a chance to be on the ship, get adjusted to it too, and once again, it's just a great way to really see these beautiful places in Europe, rather than maybe doing a tour where you have to go from hotel to hotel to hotel, different places and cities. Not that it's bad, but I really think a good way to maybe experience Europe first time might be doing a river cruise too. And once again, as mentioned, we've got some options out there, different river cruise lines too. Another one is Avalon Waterways, and besides Amman Waterways, several different cruise lines that do that, but Amman Waterways, what I love about their name is Amman does mean love, yes, and they really love what they do, and they provide amazing experiences too. I think it's a great option to think about if you're thinking about going to Europe, okay? Also, although with the river cruise lines maybe having certain seasons, some river cruise lines do also offer some special Christmas cruise experiences too. So I think it'd be kind of fun to think about doing maybe later on in the future, maybe a future Christmas cruise. You can actually enjoy different things on the waters, and that's great too. And of course, something else exciting too is today was actually the opening of the in France. Okay. This is the Olympics in France. Just opened up today. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but they actually opened up about 1 o'clock Central Time right now. So they did the opening ceremony, I believe, too. Can't wait to see more about that later on. But once again, it's really good to think about that too, because once again, different options to see in the world. And I know some river cruise lines were staying away from that opportunity because it was a little bit too busy for them, and they didn't want to take part of that right now. But once again, it'll good to see the Olympic Games online too. That's great too. So think about that too. And also, the fact that they're doing it from Paris sounds amazing. It's definitely one of the countries I want to go to because it looks so beautiful. And once again, just get little visuals when you see the Olympics going on too. And then think about that maybe for next year. And once again, maybe considering taking a trip there, either by a river cruise line or maybe just taking a trip too. Okay, keep that in mind too. It's really fun though too. And then as far as some other things that came up I wanted to mention too real quick is, Southwest Airlines, okay? What they've done, and they just announced it actually on Thursday, yesterday, was that they are going to be adding, before when you booked on Southwest Airlines, been doing this since they first started, they didn't assign seats. What you did is when you boarded the flight itself, you just picked a seat, and then they started doing their early bird check-in, where you actually pay some extra money, not a lot, and then you could actually get your actual boarding, whether it was boarding A, boarding B, boarding C, and then you could actually just get to the top of the line to actually board the ship. I'm sorry, board the plane, sorry. But once again, what they did was, and they had early bird check-in, which I do too, just make sure that I get my A. I studied hard to get my A, pay the extra money, and they actually can be one of the first groups to actually board the plane. But once again too is sometimes got a little hectic sometimes too, and so what they decided to do was, because other lines I do is when you check in you actually get your assigned seat. And what they're doing is Southwest Airlines just announced that they're doing some new things. Their open seating policy is going away. They won't start this till next year. Also, what they're doing is they're going to be offering some extra legroom seats, and the legroom seat itself will be different than the other seats in the flight itself too, in coach. But what they're doing is they're going to be doing some work on their planes too to accommodate this right now. They won't be launching this till next year sometime. I don't know the deadline, but once again, they're going to be changing over to assigned seats, so they won't be having the early bird check-in anymore that I know of. So I should get an actual seat number. And once again, too, it's just another way for them to kind of really adapt to different changes that maybe they need to do. So once again, what they're doing is, as far as the extra legroom seats, the extra legroom section is going to be, right now with their 737-8 planes, they currently have 32 inches of space, which is best for economy. And then the carrier's smaller 737 planes have 31 inches, okay? What they're doing is they're going to be rolling out this extra legroom product in conjunction with the new seats that's developed, which are being manufactured right now. And they'll reveal more about this in February. And they don't have a time for the launch yet, too, but once again, they'll have to go through the FAA certification, too. And they're refitting different flights, too, which is interesting, though, too. But I'll keep you posted. But that just came up yesterday. So once again, they're going to be changing from notice seats assigned. Evidently, they won't be doing that early book check-in anymore. Once again, but they're working through this boarding process right now. So once again, they started doing some boarding tests and also completed 8 million digital boarding simulations, too. And their goal of this new process is really what the president of Southwest Airlines, Bob Jordan, mentioned. He just mentioned that the assigned seating should reduce stress for some customers who maybe currently worry about maybe not having a seat assignment. And once again, they just have a newly appointed executive vice president of transformation, Ryan Green. He mentioned that he said that 60% of Southwest airline flyers do online check-in within 30 seconds of when it opens up, which demonstrates their anxiety. So once again, too, is just relieves some stress from people, too. And they won't be launching this, opening this up until next year. Don't know when, but once again, they have to go through different protocols with the FAA first, doing more research, they will be redoing some of their planes too. Once again, also be offering some first premium seats too. But once again, as Bob Jordan mentioned, their CEO mentioned too, is they're not going to be losing their low-cost identity, okay? But once again, just think about that way too. They just know it's just common sense, not really adding any kind of complexity too. So keep that in mind too, because I like flying Southwest. They really make flying fun. In the past, I always get the early bird check-in to make sure I get the boarding for A. Then you can pick a seat. Once again, sometimes it gets to be challenging when you got families that want to travel together too. It's kind of tough. So once again, I think maybe they're moving into assigned seats makes a little bit more sense for them too, and adding more legroom to different areas too after they're reducing their planes too. I'll keep you posted on this too because it just came up actually this week. Actually, yeah, they just announced it. I'll be sharing more later on too, but definitely keep it in mind too. Any questions for me, Mark, or not? Because we've got a lot of things going on, of course, in the cruise industry, of course, in travel. We had a lot of big conferences have been going on too. I had some business friends are over in Japan on a special conference on board Princess Cruises in Japan. Special event for these people, which is great too. And then, of course, like I said, we've got some things are coming up, new ships coming out. I mentioned that before. With the World Explorer coming out next year, that's really exciting. And of course, this year we've got the Explora 2 coming out, I think by September this year. That's Explorer Journey's second new ship. Explorer Journeys, by the way, is owned by MSC Group. It is their luxury cruise line. They launched their first ship, Explorer 1, last year. But it's called Bringing Their Ocean Life to Sea, which is great. And once again, it's just kind of fun to see what they're doing too, because once again, with the Explorer Journeys, Explorer 1 came out last year. Explorer 2 is coming out this September, which is great. And once again, too, it's luxury. They got 2 more Explorer ships coming out, plus maybe a couple more, but they sail over in Europe, which is great. Other options too. And as far as the other new ships coming out too, of course, we've got, let's see here, we've got, of course, the Queen Anne, which is just debuted about a month ago, which is great. And of course, the Sun Princess came out earlier this year. And the Queen Anne, which just debuted about a month ago, looks gorgeous. It was their first new ship in 14 years. A little larger than their previous 2 Queen ships too, but once again, it looks gorgeous. I wrote about it. It looks fantastic. Also, with Ritz-Carlton, their second yacht, of course, it's called the Ilma, and she is going to be having new features too, which is great. She is smaller, of course, and it's I think 456 berths, a little bit more, and she measures 46,000 center gross register tons. And of course, as mentioned, Utopia Seas just came out last week. There's a 6th class Oasis class ship, offering, of course, 3 and 4 night cruises. And what I think that's fun too is, I forgot to mention this too, is with the Utopia of the Seas, I just wrote about it. My article should be coming out the other week, but the Utopia Seas is, they've added different things too. They've got 5 outdoor pools, which is great. They've got a poolside food truck, plus they've got their new Pesky Parrot Caribbean Tiki Bar. Also, they've got a cantilevered alfresco terrace. They've got Azumi in the Park, which really take away with their Central Park neighborhood too. And they've got this new, I can't remember what it's called. It's Royal Railroad. It's actually a dining experience. It's built like a small little train on the ship. It's a locomotive, but it's just kind of fun with an immersive experience for dining, of course, too. It's not a full train, once again, and you have to book in advance too. It's extra cost, but it looks fantastic too. Just what I've seen in pictures too. Also, they've got their Giovanni's Italian restaurant bar. It actually spans 2 different levels. It has a cantilevered terrace, which is great, and I think it's kind of fun to see about. They've got their Ultimate Abyss dry slide returns, and they've got fun thing too is, like I said, I think that Pesky Parrot Caribbean Tiki Bar sounds really fun. I want to check that into that too sometime too. It sounds kind of funny. I love the name, Pesky Parrot Caribbean Bar, right? Also, the Disney Journey came out. Disney Treasure is coming out. Okay, she's a sister ship of the Disney Wish, which came out 2022. And the Disney Treasure is going to be having the Haunted Mansion Parlor, which is a bar, which sounds kind of fun. And it's going to have a new Broadway-style production called The Tale of Moana. And the Plaza de Coco is a family-friendly themed Mexican restaurant based on the Pixar film Coco. And once again, too, is with the Brant Lady. That's the 4th ship coming out, and with the lady ships, which are actually Virgin Voyages. I know she was delayed, but I think she's going to be coming out this year. It's their 4th ship in their lady ship series. There'll be more, of course, too. We haven't heard much about that, too, but the Brilliant Lady is going to be coming out later on this year, too, which is fun. And something else that they're doing, too, is we've got, I mentioned the Explorer 2, which just debuted. And it's going to be debuting actually this fall in September. Also, we've got the Silver Nova, which just debuted. That is a sister ship. I'm sorry, the Silver Nova debuted last year, but the Silver Ray just came out this year. And it's a sister ship, and it's Silversea Cruises, which is really great. They're a really fantastic company. They're part of the Royal Caribbean Group, which owns Silversea Cruises. They've got Celebrity Cruises plus Royal Caribbean International. Also, they've got, I know we've got Viking, which is a great cruise line, and they got their Viking Vela. It's slightly larger than their other ships. It's their ship series, and she's going to stretch 784 feet with a capacity of 998 guests. And her gross registered tonnage is 48,900 gross registered tons, up from 47,800 gross registered tons. We've got, of course, with Viking, they do some wonderful things too. And another thing to think about too. Also, we've got, of course, as mentioned, the Sun Princess debuted earlier this year, and it's their first Princess ship that's actually LNG powered Spear class ship too. And they've got different entertainment venues, which sound great. I've written about it. They've got the Dome, they've got their Piazza, they've got their flexible arena with 4 configurations, and then we've got half these new ships that are coming out, of course, this year, have come out this year, are actually LNG powered. Half of them are LNG powered, liquefied natural gas. So definitely keep in mind, because once again, too, is the Cruise Lines Association, the CLIA, Cruise Lines International Association, has really set a goal to have ships by 2050 being run by liquefied natural gas. A lot of cruise lines are jumping in before that, too. They're really focusing on that, too, more than ever. I think that's really fun, too. And they're doing once again too with the Sun Princess, which just debuted earlier this year in the spring. And they've got their different areas, and it's they've got their first at sea road glider, height above deck 19. They've got Spellbound by Hollywood's Magic Castle, and they also have includes a restaurant in partnership with artist Romero Brito, which is great too. So definitely keep in mind, because once again, there's so many things going on in the cruise industry. New ships coming out, plus new destinations, cruise ships sailing from different ports too. As mentioned in my previous episodes, of course, too, Galveston has been really, really growing in a very, very positive way. With Carnival Cruise Line, they actually did debut their new ship. I think it was a Carnival Jubilee. Actually, it was christened in Galveston, Texas, which is great. And once again, if you think about taking cruises, once again, just the expansion with Princess Cruises, which I mentioned earlier, as far as Alaska, they're offering Alaskan cruises from 6 different places, which is great. Gives you a lot of choices. They've got, of course, San Francisco. They just mentioned that for 2026. They have also, of course, Vancouver, which is actually kind of a place where Alaskan cruising really started years and years ago. And of course, you've got Seattle, which is beautiful. And then, of course, you've got San Diego. They mentioned that. I think San Francisco is one. Los Angeles. But so many options out there, too. And once again, it's definitely thinking about that, too, maybe for next year. Because, once again, the Alaskan cruise season is short, but it's a beautiful place to go to. And different places to see, too. And different options as far as actually from sail from to. Plus, with cruise lines, Princess Cruises is one. Hanamek is another. What they do is they actually have their own lodges in those areas too. It's a way to really kind of add more to your trip. Like a pre-cruise stay for a couple of days at one of their lodges in Alaska first, or at the end of your cruise too. So keep that in mind too, because once again, once you go to Alaska, you really fall in love with it because it is such a beautiful, beautiful place to experience and enjoy more than ever. So you definitely keep that in mind because it is wonderful. And then once again, too, as mentioned too, is I know we've been very lucky that we just had that one really bad hurricane that hurt, Hurricane Beryl, and there might be some more coming up this year. Hurricane season actually starts June to November. But once again, too, is with cruise ships, what they do too is they can change their itineraries to sail out of the storms. Okay, it's really sad, as of course some islands do get hit, which is bad. But once again, too, is with cruise ships, keep in mind because with hurricane season, we just don't know what's going on. And of course, Hurricane Beryl hit some different areas. Once again, cruise lines actually able to manipulate their ships, sail in different places too. They would avoid it. And that happened a long time ago. I was doing a Caribbean cruise, and last minute a hurricane was coming through. What they did was they changed our itinerary completely, which I understand was fine. Instead of doing Eastern Caribbean, which would normally include Samba, Puerto Rico, other islands, we went to Western Caribbean. But it's fine because once again, the ships can navigate out of the hurricane arena. Okay, so keep that in mind too. And it's just another good thing about actually thinking about maybe taking a cruise ship because once again, we don't know. Even when we had the kind of crazy things that came up with the tornadoes, I had tornadoes that came through our areas here where I live in close to Chicago. They had about 20 different tornadoes that kind of hit different areas. I was very fortunate it didn't get hit, of course, but they hit different areas too. So it's kind of sad when we have those kind of storms. We can't really prevent them, but you have to be safe about that too. But once again, with cruise lines, they can actually avoid, of course, sailing. They don't sail into hurricanes. They change the itineraries. They tweak their itineraries. Something else that's important to remember too is with delays that come up, maybe with airline delays and maybe luggage not getting delivered, whatever it is, definitely take some type of travel insurance. Okay, I'll share more about that maybe in a future episode. But once again, sometimes things come up for a reason you don't know what's going to happen. I had that happen myself too. About 2 years ago, I was coming back from my cruise. I was flying back from Fort Lauderdale to Chicago, but I had a route to I think Baltimore. But the flight was a later flight in the afternoon. We took off for an hour late, and then we departed an hour late. And we kept seeing little notices that there might be delays. Well, when we were landing, and I ran to the gate. Of course, my flight just departed, unfortunately. But what happened was the flight took off. My connecting flight took off. I could do nothing. I reached out for help with the airline. They really didn't give me suggestions, but I did have travel insurance. Plus, I actually found a hotel to go to myself. Got there, and I paid for the hotel. Got there at 11 o'clock at night. Had to get up early, get on my flight that rebooked me on at 7 something in the morning. But thank goodness I did have travel insurance because when I came back, I did file a claim that reimbursed me for the hotel I had to pay myself. So once again, definitely we don't know what's going on with weather conditions, with tornadoes, hurricanes and things. So definitely look into purchasing travel insurance because that's more important now than ever. And if you are booking a cruise, I always tell people, it's best to kind of book your travel insurance separately from a regular travel insurance company rather than through the cruise line. Okay. Also, what I did too separately is I do go to different travel conferences throughout the year. I actually, after I had that situation came up with my missing my connecting flight, what I did was I actually purchased a year-long separate travel insurance policy myself through on that, which is great. Once again, look at that too, because once again, they will cover you if you're traveling for business or maybe something came up. Maybe not necessarily a cruise vacation, but it'll cover you to cover different things if you have delays, luggage loss, whatever. So look into travel insurance separate from when you're taking a cruise trip or just a vacation trip. Get travel insurance for that, but get a separate policy too, just in case. Because once again, we've had a lot of issues with flights being canceled, delayed. I know the situation just came up this last week with Delta. Was really, really sad. I have business friends I know that got delayed like crazy. One was actually attending a conference in New York, and her return flight got delayed, and she finally was going to be flying back, I think maybe today, to Florida. So once again, we can't control what happens, and we don't know what's going to be coming up, but definitely think about purchasing travel insurance. Number one, purchase travel insurance when you're taking a cruise vacation or a trip, and purchase it through a regular travel insurance company. Secondly, these travel insurance companies also have separate policies. If you just want to have a 1-year policy, separate from your cruise vacation, your travel vacation, purchase that too. They're not expensive. They work with you too, but then you're covered different things too. So definitely keep that in mind. Because like I said, it's just sad we came out with Delta and like a meltdown again. They said it was technology. I don't know, but it's just kind of sad because again too is we do rely on flying sometimes too. For different things. Obviously, if you're taking a cruise, in my case, I fly to Miami. I'm not going to drive there, of course. But once again, we can't control certain things. Once again, just make sure you do take steps to protect yourself. And buying travel insurance, whether it's for a cruise vacation, and also buying travel insurance for a regular long year. So you've got it for a year too. Separate if you're going on different conferences, whatever. Keep that in mind too. Mark, any questions for me? Yet or not?
Not today. We went about a good show and everything along those lines. So I know you got the one about the kids and all along those lines, and we can close out with that when you're ready and
All right.
everything. But
Let me share
yeah,
about
you're
Virgin
bringing up some
Voyages.
good
Yes, this
things.
is good. Yes. Let me share. I'll talk about Virgin Voyages first. This is really fun. First, let me show the video. Okay.
All right, cool. So we'll show the video first.
No, let me talk about Virgin Voyages first.
All right, cool.
Okay. Virgin Voyages just made a big announcement. Okay, they're offering a promotion. Virgin Voyages now wants you to take the kids along for free. Okay. Now, Virgin Voyages, that's Richard Branson's cruise line, of course. And when he started Virgin Voyages, they successfully launched Scarlet Lady in 2021. I got a chance to see the ship. She's beautiful, amazing. But once again, they just keep some protocols. He didn't like the word cruising. Of course, what they do is they call their guests Voyagers. You're going to Virgin Voyage, okay? And what he did too is he decided to really design it so it wasn't just cruising, okay? He'd never taken a cruise. Had ideas about starting a cruise line. He hadn't even been on a ship. He's very innovative, of course, creative with his airline, which is great too. But what he did was, when he first started Virgin Voyages, it continues on, is it was mandatory that anybody sails on Virgin Voyages is 18 years and older, okay? Which means no kids on board, okay? And I got a chance to see Scarlet Lady. It was amazing what they did. The thing is, you didn't have just a main dining room. You had different options for dining, and they're smaller places, which is great. So when I was on board, I got a chance to enjoy their their steak seafood. So it was great. We had entertainment, and the pool area is beautiful. It was great to see. The dining room areas were smaller, very personalized. It wasn't just a big dining room with options. Great. And the entertainment was so versatile. I mean, we had a chance to see a show during that night. It was amazing. What they did was they just announced it's for the summer to celebrate the start of New Year. Richard Branson and Virgin Voyage just announced they're opening its gangways to kids to sail for free. Okay, and once again, it's a journey for maybe parents that are losing their kids to maybe go into a new dorm, maybe go to college, whatever. You have to be 18 years or older. Okay, so in this case, what they're doing is they're offering a certain promotion, and parents can actually take their adult kids to sail Virgin Voyages for free with this new promotion. It's at no cost, okay? And it's limited offer. once again, too, if parents want to take their adult kids on board, they actually take advantage of this new program where your adult kids can sail for free, okay? And it's just really, really great, too, because once again, they have different options to do, too. Once again, it's limited. It's now through August 23rd. So once again, guests can actually book and have their adult kids sail with them at no additional cost, which is great too. So once again, just keep that in mind too, because once again, even though you must be 18 years and older, you have to get this thing booked by August 23rd, so you got less than a month. Come on.
Yeah.
Get this booked, and your adult kids can sail along for free.
Yep.
And now we go to
We can go to the commercial where
the
we
video,
find
yes,
out
the video, which I love too.
Yep, and that'll wrap up the show and everything.
Yes, it will be, yes.
All right.
Mama, Papa, was your suitcase packed but not mine? How could you leave us kids behind? Parents are going on a cruise without us kids, and we know whose fault this is. Virgin Voyages says we can't cruise till we're 18, which makes us shake like we had caffeine. Virgin Voyages says no kids on the ocean, so we're causing a commotion. You'll be sipping cocktails under a starlit night while we're back home without an invite. Sure, you've earned a gourmet spread, but we're experiencing existential dread.
Adults, enjoy the cruise. We know you deserve it, but the fact we can't go is total bull.